Hello there, Tamar. Welcome. Welcome to a new game that I have heard about. I have seen it only referenced by this one YouTuber who I forget the name of currently. Let me look at his name real quick just so I can shout him out. I like him. He's like a Scottish guy, so he's pretty funny. And he mostly covers like horror videos and stuff. His name is Painticus. Just happened across his channel one day and I ended up noticing him referencing this game a lot, and I was like, okay, well, that sounds interesting. Like, I haven't really ever heard of this game, which is surprising. I feel like I'm pretty well versed on niche games like this, but it's not available anywhere. I had to download this off of, well, maybe I shouldn't say, but it's not available on Steam or purchase anywhere. But here we are. It kind of reminds me of like The Room. It's like creepy vibe, and it's a point and click mystery. I don't know anything beyond it because I didn't want to spoil it for myself, but all I know is it's kind of a slow burn, but apparently it's really intense the more you get into it. So I was very intrigued by that, and I figured you would like it too. But yeah, here we go, scratches. We want to play the director's cut. Okay. I thought there'd be some dialogue. I was trying to be quiet, but it seems like we're just looking at some pictures here. This game is from 2006. Or 7. So it's pretty old. Kinda creepy. That kinda looks like the drawing room from Blueprints. Pretty interesting. Cellar of Rats. Is it the music? Never heard of that guy before. Cellar of Rats. Alejandro Graziani. Nice little drum roll there.
I arrived at Blackwood Manor one cold Saturday morning amidst a thick veil of fog. The weather didn't look good, and there was an unnatural calm surrounding the area, yet I soon became entangled with the place.
Okay. Blackwood Manor. It's kind of zoning out. I was thinking if this game is even going to be, like, can you even see the subtitles on YouTube? I'm not sure. There it is, standing amongst the treetops. It's ominous spy. Okay. Saturday, October 12th. Of course, it's October. The cloudy sky above me seemed rather unsettling and almost made me lose my balance. I felt a curious urge to run for shelter, and my new home in the distance seemed very inviting. I suppose if you've been away, doesn't seem very inviting to me. Okay, so this is a point-and-click game. The mouse controls are not the best. They're a little floaty. I don't know, they seem kind of weird, like... You can let it just, like, slide like that. Sorry for motion sickness. Or you can just, like, stop it right away. And it's, like, very sensitive to mouse movements. The imposing main gates were guarding the entrance to the manor. Even if I wanted to leave, I could not do so on foot. The mailbox was empty. Okay. Dark game, huh? It's daytime out. It's like... It's a dark tree line there. Let's go over here. Rusty barrels. A hefty lock was preventing my entry to the garage. Or should I say garage? There was no way I could open it with my bare hands. Anything with my car? Can get in my car. I can honk the horn, okay. Anything in my glove box? Car keys. It was the car's starter. Stopping me from just driving out here. I mean, I guess this is my home. Okay, so sorry about that. I accidentally pressed the movement keys like WASD. Didn't realize that it would move the camera like that. Okay. Just walking into the woods randomly. Oh, there's something here. A beautiful greenhouse. The door to the greenhouse was stuck, probably due to some serious rusting of its hinges. I almost succeeded, but in spite of my efforts, the door wouldn't budge. It was hopeless. The rust wouldn't allow this door to be opened. Okay. Suppose these mysteries will reveal themselves later in the story. Okay, I am lost. Just walked down a different pathway than the one I took. The tree had a little hole in its base which allowed some water to pass through. Interesting. There was a small pool of water below the arching tree. Peculiar indeed. Let's get back to the house. I gotta go down the dark passageway. Here we are. The door to the house was locked, fortunately. I guess so. Keeping out the bad, the riffraff. I'm really sorry if the, mouse cursor is, like, throwing you off. I'll turn this down to slow. I think that should be good. It's about the same, I don't know. It's interesting though, it's like screenshots, like 3D panoramic screenshots. take me to the tree as well. Oh no. This takes me to a church, seems like. A church made of brick. Massive double doors leading to the interior of the chapel were locked. Suppose I can't enter now. Our first puzzle. I don't think this is really a puzzle game like The Room is, but it is similar vibes, I would say. I have the car keys. You know what I'm realizing? There might be like button presses that I don't know because it's an older game, so it comes with a manual. And if that's the case, then I'm going to... Sorry for the screen cutting out. But every time I click outside of the application, it does this. Maybe I'll cut this part out. But if I don't, I'm just looking for the manual that got installed along with the game. Let's see here. Bonus content, manual. Here we go. You will step into the role of Michael Arthur, a blooming writer flush with cash from the sales of his debut hit novel. As he moves to an imposing Victorian mansion he has just bought, set on the outskirts of a small rural town in northern England, Michael seeks inspiration to complete his long-awaited sequel. He uncovers terrible secrets concealed within the house. Won't say any more. I'm not even gonna read it myself. I'm just gonna skim through. I suppose all I want to know is that I'm a writer. It's kind of like The Shining's premise a bit, huh? Gives us some spoilers, I would say. I don't know, maybe not spoilers? I don't want to know anything about this game. I just want to jump in. The only thing is I just want to make sure I'm not missing any controls. There are hints. I could turn on the hints. If you don't like the panoramic 360 thing, if it's making you motion sick, there's a slideshow mode I could turn on. See how it goes. Controls. Sorry, I'm reading through. Escape skips dialogue. I guess we'll be talking to people at some point. Oh, I'm spoiling it. No quick reflexes or action skills are needed. Scratches will test your creativity to solve these obstacles and puzzles. Each one is completely different and will provide a whole new challenge. Therefore, it can't be easily explained how you should work your way through the game. Rather, it is something you will have to experience on your own. Using items. The inventory is a recurring element and is prominently used. Press the right button on your mouse to access the inventory. So that's what I wanted to know. Okay. Let's jump back in. So let's go up to the door. I'll try and make the camera movements as slow as possible. Got our car keys here. The key didn't fit there. Got my luggage. Okay, let's try the obvious key. With very little effort, the key unlocked the front door. Okay. Here we are. Oh yay. There's a rather torn umbrella. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Michael, it's me.
Hey, Jerry. It's good to hear your voice.
I see that piece of junk you got there is working.
My thoughts exactly. I was afraid it'd fall apart as soon as I laid my fingers on it.
So how did you find everything? Do you like the place?
It's hard to tell yet. I'm very impressed, that's for sure.
You sound odd. Is everything okay?
Yes, it's perfectly fine. It's just that I'm in awe. I mean, pleasantly surprised. This house is like a dream come true.
So you do like it? You got me worried there for 1 second.
I'm telling you, I'm going to turn this place into a factory of horror stories.
Good. You ought to finish that
Okay.
book. I'm rooting for you, mate. You sure everything is in order?
Well, I just got here. Let me have a look around, and I'll get back to you if I find anything strange.
Excellent. I'll talk to you later.
Dun, dun. I guess that's why I like this place. I'm writing a horror novel. I mean, it's a bit of a fixer-upper, but I would enjoy living here. I got it all nice. Probably get rid of the Victorian stuff. It's not really my style. Probably keep this table. That lamp is pretty. Some stuff just gives me like I'd get rid of these curtains. Not a big fan of those. Old. It's like a picture of someone sitting on a chair, but it won't let me zoom in. What's this? This house is amazing, far beyond my wildest dreams. Jerry's efforts have truly exceeded my expectations. I better get acquainted right away. Jerry says the electrician should be on his way to solve the lights problem. I feel relieved. What do you think, Tamar? Yay or smash or pass on this house? Gosh, my acid reflux has been going crazy today. Pick another comment real quick while you answer my question. Interesting. I wonder if there's any significance here. It allows me to zoom in on this painting. Like, whoever lived here before, were there two people that were trying to oust a third on their lonesome. Looks like they're kind of hurling verbal insults at this one, and this one's like reacting defensively. I'm calling it now. It's pretty. I like it. I intended to brighten up the whole place, but to my surprise, the lights wouldn't work. Get that thing to stop ticking. Majestic grandfather clock was gently ticking nearby. It was almost sleep-inducing, but I was glad it was working. The time was 9 a.m. It's just another ordinary vase. Okay. I think it's pretty. gosh. Okay, so that was creepy. Step into here. This place was full of exquisite, albeit aged, candelabras. Nice mantle. Remnants of a previous fire. Stone in the fireplace was cold to the touch. Just a bunch of uninteresting books. Glass was empty. Pity. I could have used a drink. No, smoking can kill you. Especially when the cigars are decades old. Ah. I agree. That's all I have to say about that. The little drawer wouldn't open. Spin the globe! Where it will stop, no one knows. Stopped over... Oh god. This is Greenland, right? No, this is Iceland. I should know that. Lands in the same spot every time, huh? Okay. A diploma granting the title of construction engineer to James T. Blackwood. Most of the clocks in the house weren't working. Several trophies for remarkable accomplishments adorned the room. The huge collection of books was impressive. I would have gladly spent days going through them. Interesting. Would like to go by the desk. The Journey to the Source of the Nile. 2 years of East Africa. With numerous illustrations. Okay, so he was a traveled man. February 6th. The construction of the railway bridge is almost complete and went quite smoothly. It took longer than I expected. Yet I wish it would have lasted longer. I will be very sad to leave. Sorry, I'm just closing my window. I'll be very sad to leave South Africa. I've become so attached to it, its culture, its art, over the past few months, that I can't help feeling as if it was already a part of me. I will surely return someday. Soon, hopefully, although I'm afraid there is a great deal of work to be taken care of back in Old Britain. Fortunately, I made good friends here who were ecstatic about my new appreciation of their country. They offered me some wonderful objects as a token of gratitude, which I have already crated and got ready to ship, along with many trinkets I brought myself. It looks like I'm about to start a very substantial collection. It's a good thing Catherine agreed to move into our new home, although I fear several renovations will have to be made. Even more if I'm intending to start a serious new hobby. It seems I'll have to get back to work. John Patterson has just told me some natives are causing trouble. A very unfortunate thing, although I'm secretly rejoicing. February 12th. The natives won't leave. It's not like they're causing trouble, so much as they're unsettling our workers. The only complaint so far has been distraction. They just stand still between the trees staring at us, without blinking an eye. I've watched them for a few minutes, and they truly seem like some tenebrous statues. At first it was just annoying, but lately it's become downright creepy. They seem to be stalking us. So it's not like they're hindering the construction, but there is a general uneasy feeling as if they were about to jump out at us at any moment. I think I will hire some protection as a measure of precaution. February 15th. Fascinating. I've been looking into these natives. They live in a nearby village and are a very small group, yet they seem to manage quite well. I had thought of them as quite an uncivilized tribe, but their movements are calculated, and one can perceive a sense of careful organization in their tasks. Oddly enough, they seem to be very brutish, and their aspect looks awful, although I couldn't take a good look at their facial features as I followed one of them completely on my own, and it could have been dangerous getting any closer. Also, the village is poor and very rough. But some of the shacks leapt out as inviting or special. It made me very curious. I will try to come closer tomorrow. February 16th. My second expedition to the village of the natives has been foiled by an unexpected problem at the bridge. I'm afraid it was due to a slight miscalculation on my part, an indication that I should be focusing more on the task at hand and put my sudden love for all African things aside for a moment. It was my fault, and I accept it. February 20th. They are at it again, lurking beyond the forest. It's amazing how they have changed our perception of the surroundings. Oh my gosh. At first we were delighted by the quiet nature of the place. Now we fear what horrors might be concealed in that dark and foreboding cloak of trees. The tops loom above us, overshadowing the bridge, and strange noises haunt our meals. Even the river telling ungodly secrets. We could be, of course, a bit more sensitive towards distractions, but I can't help but feeling the area has in fact become more sinister. And yet I'm still looking forward to satisfying my curiosity about the tribe. February 24th. Wait. Oops, I accidentally clicked out of the game. I'll come back. Here we go. It's 4 days later. At last, I've found something more about the neighboring tribe. This is an incredible finding, and I just can't withhold my excitement. Some elders at the local town happen to know about them, but only through stories they had heard. Sorry, a little burp. The most surprising thing is that the tribe was assumed to be extinct long ago. But according to my vague descriptions, the elders think that we could be dealing with a legend here. Everything they have ever learned of them was during their childhood, when the tribe was stalking the town, much in the same way they have been stalking us. People used to call them, I can't read that, Dihwam. Dihwam. I'm going to say Dihwam. As such was the sound of screams heard echoing late in the night. They'd come out into the streets and see an evil glitter atop a hill in the distance. Some would say it was a fire. Others the cursed spirit of an ancient god. Whatever it was, they say the bright light, amid those fantastic screams, was bone-chilling. The macabre scene would suddenly stop just as it had begun out of nowhere, never to be seen again in days to come. Intervals between these horrible nights became longer and longer, until they soon faded into oblivion. The tribe apparently had retreated back into obscurity, until now. They were later known as the Tamar, a rather more scientific name, although none of the people I spoke with could possibly remember its origin. I find it extremely surprising that nobody has ever heard about this tribe, with the exception of a few townspeople. They must be incredibly rare, and judging by the stories passed on from generations in the town, very old. February 27th. I will confess that I have become nearly obsessed with this strange tribe. I see them as the most prized goal of my appreciation towards all South African things. A dangerous, yet irresistible reward. I feel as if they were my discovery. I simply have to study them before leaving. I fear I won't have the chance to ever again. It has become an important goal of mine, even more important than finishing the bridge. Oh wow, we jump all the way to March 4th. Finally, I've managed to see them. My God, what a disturbing spectacle. When we arrived, they were moving around the village very slowly, without speaking or communicating with each other, each minding his or her own business, completely alien to the rest of the world. They were filthy looking, coarse and downright disgusting. I couldn't see any weapons, but they could have been stored somewhere. It was all very strange behavior in the tribe. They must be quite unique. Then, as if they had suddenly all become possessed by some wild spirit, they began shaking spasmodically, and screaming like mad. Some of them dropped to their knees and lifted their heads to the sky, eyes blank and moaning in an indescribable way. Two of them walked away, still in that monotonous and slow manner, and in great contrast to the rest of the scene, into a shack. The next minute, they brought out into the open an odd-looking mask. Its shapes, colors, and overall looks, while unsettling, were mesmerizing, and I felt instantly hypnotized by it. It rendered my modest collection of African curiosities into dull and uninteresting items. The mask was very ominous, and the whole tribe seemed to greatly revere it. Soon they began to gather around it and move in circles, fluttering and chanting a guttural psalm. Judging by their emotions and aspect of the whole ritual, it must have been some kind of war ritual. I'm not sure how to explain what happened next, as I feel my pulse is already throbbing. Words fail me to recount the most disturbing thing I have ever witnessed. One of the male villagers walked into the middle, near the mask, by his own will. It was an almost automatic act. All of a sudden, the remaining members became silent. I can't tell for how long it lasted, but I was afraid to breathe. I think Dolby and the others were also scared. They wouldn't even blink. I remember being soaked wet and expectant. Huh? The silence was so unnatural. Then, a few members separated from the people circling the mask and jumped on the single villager, beating him to death. To be completely faithful to the event, the small crowd tore him apart. They grabbed his legs on 2s and 3s and twisted them in a manner I dare not describe. His face was disfigured with their bare fingernails and teeth, and the torso soon disappeared under the frenzied tangle of hands. In a matter of a few minutes, the villager was turned into a red sack of bones. Not one of the attackers had the compassion to snap his neck during the sickening process. All was very methodical, as if it was just another mundane task. The most terrifying aspect, though, was that the victim didn't even cringe. The silence was so deep I could hear his flesh ripping. I would expect any living creature to scream its guts out in such a condition. I can't tell whether he was drugged or half asleep, but I did recognize him dancing, like everybody else, before walking into the middle of the circle. It was the most outrageous and sadistic sacrifice I have ever heard of. I don't think I will ever forget what I saw. My intentions of approaching further, even if they didn't have any weapons at hand, vanished. Those creatures, I dare not call them human beings, could have killed my whole company in the blink of an eye with their rage. They seemed to be completely out of themselves and willing to destroy anything intruding into their path. While the images of the sacrifice still haunt my thoughts, I still can't seem to forget that mask. It was so deceptive, so deceptively simple, and yet perfect in its design. Oh no, the page has been ripped. Try and keep reading. I haven't seen anything like it. I surely would love to take a better look. I feel the Tamar, dangerous as they are, could be the most important ethical finding in decades. What I've seen today is crying for some further investigating. I just can't leave them like that. I would never forgive myself. And the mask. That mask. I was ecstatic after reading the journal. The material was incredible. Oh my god. I am too. That was like pretty intense. That was good writing. I like that. I was like getting captured by that. I can see something in there, but it won't let me grab anything. It's a picture. Oh, I got a letter. And some money. We're rich! I guess you have to be rich if you're living here. I can see the volume of the game is kind of loud. Maybe I should turn it down a little bit. Turn it down to like there. Did that make it louder? It's probably fine. Oh no, it's hitting the red. Hold on. Turn it back to where it was. Wait, that makes it louder. I'm such a noob. Such a noob. Okay, let's see how that fares. That looks like a book I should be able to grab, but whatever. Maybe I'll just turn it down up here like that. Okay, that's better. Okay, I'm super sorry about that. Just ruined the mood. There we go. I think that's a better volume. Sorry if it was loud before that. Okay. I can play with this thing. Interesting, interesting. What was this guy's name? Something Blackwood? Michael Blackwood? Jonathan Blackwood? Ah, a beautiful dining room. Tablecloths, napkins. That certainly isn't my thing. Yeah. Me neither. Place was full of exquisite, albeit aged, candelabras. Already read that. Beautiful. I love that. It's very French. I like that one too. It was just some useless junk. What is that though? It's like a doily or like an eclair. I guess that's what happens when you don't water the plants for a long time. Ah, here we go. Now we're getting into the good stuff. I couldn't decide what was more impressive, the incredible collection of books in the study, or the amount of booze in the dining room. Man, every time I click out to go back, it like sends the camera down like that. So I don't know how to deal with that. Ew, sticking his finger inside of his abdomen. Is this supposed to be Jesus? More people, more paintings of people like accusing a lone figure. Wonder Blackwood's suffered the same arguments. This takes me back out here. My question is, isn't this the front door? This takes me into the dining room. I could have sworn that the front door is where we walked in. That must be the front door. Yeah, that's the front door. Let's see, let's go back in here. See what's in here real quick. Some sort of hallway. Lots of paintings on these walls. A lot of paintings of the countryside. Some farmers toiling away here, and then some are on their lunch break. Serfs, most likely. A generic standard lamp. Still, it was elegant and tasteful. Indeed. We've certainly lost something of aesthetics nowadays. This I feel like I've seen before. Isn't this where the Bastille Day stuff happen? Like, weren't they cutting people's heads off in this plaza? I don't know. No idea. We didn't see this painting yet. Just some guys. So I guess you can look at every painting. I thought maybe the horses were significant, but it seems you can look at everything. Seen some pictures, paintings of mothers with their babies. Mothers toiling away, and the of religious type stuff. Several vases of African craftsmanship were standing against the west window. Ah, yeah, there we go. Some light in. That's nice. Let's see what's in here. This looks like the kitchen. It's not such a bad kitchen. There's like barely any counter space though. So that would suck. This is the pantry. Door to what I assumed was the basement is locked. Countless jars and cans adorn the kitchen. There's some cleaning up to do. Something tells me we will not be doing that though. As much as I would love that. The interior of the refrigerator was begging for some serious cleaning, not to mention a powerful disinfectant. Sink looks like it could use some work too. We go out into the backyard. Okay. Still daylight out. Well, I guess it's only 9 a.m. Not excited for nighttime. This place is gonna be a lot worse. A lot creepier. Oh my gosh. Mausoleum. Blackwood Mausoleum. Thick wire was tied between both handles, securing the door to the crypt. Years of corrosion had stiffened the wire on the door handles, making it impossible to manipulate with my bare hands. I would need some tools to get into the crypt. Tools indeed. Suppose we're not done exploring the house yet. Some sort of guest bedroom? The topmost sheet of paper of the pile had some curious markings on it, so I grabbed it to have a closer look. And then there's a picture of the woods, it seems. Can't make out anything too descript. And then a picture of a squirrel. So cute. That looks like a real picture. And then we have housekeeping old something. Can I open her up? I guess not. It's too bad. The practical photographer. A picture of the kitchen. Now there has to be something for a puzzle here. It was an old picture of the kitchen that I had just left. Oh, I can grab a pencil. Okay. I comment on these pictures? No. Okay. Interesting. More pictures of the woods. Something's up with that tree right there, looks like. And a bridge in the forest. That does not look like a safe bridge. It's got no guardrails on the side. Oh. Is that our manor there in the background? That looks like a castle in the background. I don't know if our manor had that much going on with it. I don't think we're next to a ravine either, so... somewhere else. Useless junk. Ooh, a camera. It looked like whoever stayed in this room loved photography. The bed in this room was miserable looking. Yeah, I don't think I'll be sleeping in here. Practical photography, class and paper. A manual. For the Agency of Light. Stereoscopic pictures, Charles A. Long. Okay. I wonder who was staying here. I'm sure this is the guest bedroom. And this takes me into their bathroom that they've turned into a red room. Or black room, or whatever they call it, dark room. I'm saying red room because of the blueprints. Picture of the fountain outside. The mausoleum. Oh, looks like the Blackwoods sitting in the drawing room. This is where the intro video took place. And that's the kitchen. Evidently this bathroom had been used as some kind of dark room. The smell coming from the toilet prevented any further investigation. The sink was covered with a thick coating of dust. It looked as if the cleaning ladies had skipped this room. Apparently the water wasn't running. Yeah, you bought yourself a real fixer-upper here, bud. Alright, let's get back to the main part. We still haven't gone upstairs yet. So far, I'm digging the vibe of this game. I'm curious how a game of this nature can be, like, scary. I remember that Jerry said a nice room had been prepared for me upstairs. You can click on just about everything. Just in case I tried again, but there was still no power. Oh my god, it's that fucking painting. It's like, I think it's like Saturn eating his own son. I mean, back in 2006, before like YouTube and stuff made this series of paintings popular, like this was so fucking scary probably. If you didn't know what it was. That's a creepy painting. The guy that painted it, he had that in his kitchen, like while he was eating. That's where he kept that painting. It was only released to the public after he died. They found all his paintings. There's a lot of other creepy paintings in that guy's house. Okay. I don't know if this is a real painting or not. Is this made for the game? Obviously, it's scary. Okay, now we're getting into some scarier paintings. I don't know why. Looks like we have some sort of satyr. Mischievous satyr carrying away a woman. Probably a virgin. Weird. This one isn't as scary. This just looks like some workers on their break. Like they were feasting. Probably drank too much wine. Can't get back to work now. This one's odd. This looks like people paraplegics. Something you don't really think about. Medieval paraplegics. I feel like I've seen this painting before. Not a big fan of how the camera keeps like shooting downwards every time I leave. But I don't think there's anything I can do to fix that. Unless I do alternate control. Wait, let's see what the manual says about alternate control. Okay, no, I'm gonna turn alternate control back on. Let's try slideshow mode. Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it. It's like messing with my mouse. Oh god, this is not good at all. Yeah. No, we're not doing that. We'll just have to deal. It's an old game. Have to deal with the wonky controls. That one looks crazy. It looks like hell. Some sort of depiction of hell. Interesting that the upstairs is all of a sudden more intense with its painting choice. I was unusually surprised after entering this room. It was some kind of gallery. Its theme being African culture. Well, I'm not surprised. Figures that the Blackwood guy would have this here. Got a picture of Blackwood, presumably, or maybe one of his friends. World Arts, 19th of September, 1962. Dear James, I'm going to make use of these resting moments to thank you once again for your kindness. Those shields that you've donated to us are wonderful. If it weren't for you, our section dedicated to African objects wouldn't be anything else other than a mere collection of photographs. Also, I've been looking into these Tamar you mentioned. I have to say, they seem to be rather fantastic. If it wasn't for your personal account of their activities, I'd dismiss them as old wives' tales. I found a few books mentioning them, and I'd be very happy to lend them to you. They will be mailed at once. I hope you can satisfy your curiosity. Cordially yours, Simon Russell, Director of the Durham Museum World of Arts. Interesting. Can I inspect anything in here? I can take things out. Like, I wish I could read stuff. Hold on, let me see. One last thing in the manual. Getting close to the end of this episode as well. But let's see. Ah, okay. I have to use the magnifying glass that's in my inventory to look at other inventory items. So grab it, inspect The envelope was empty. It was a piece of paper with some strange markings, and I was sure there was much more to it than at first seemed clear. Okay. It was my journal. Have I written anything else? I have. It seems the house is out of power. You can't have everything, I guess. Hopefully it's just a minor glitch, but I should tell Jerry. I'm speechless. I've just read an incredible story about a mysterious African tribe. The personal memories of this James Blackwood person. Even if it wasn't true, it's simply terrific material. Judging by the stuff I've been seeing around, this Blackwood was really into African culture. The suitcase was holding some of my stuff and was awfully heavy. My loyal typewriter was inside that case. Okay, so Jerry sold us this place? Lots of pots, lots of shields. Beautiful vase was mesmerizing. I like that one. Very cool. Something that looked like a lion's claw was firmly attached to a necklace. Huh. Some masks. All those masks. They made me feel very uneasy. They seemed to be guarding the room. Let's get out of here. Let's find our room and put our stuff down, huh? I've been lugging around my suitcase this whole time. Maybe I'm in here. Oh yeah, this looks nice. This looks nice. Got some paintings of some dogs. It's good artwork to have in your room. Oh, a cutie dog. Girl. Rocking chairs. Vanity mirror. Nice lamp. Picture of Princess Leia. Didn't want to go through a bunch of trinkets and perfumes. Oh, I guess this is not my room. Why not, Michael? What's wrong with trinkets and perfumes? Shattered picture frame. Some medicine. Won't let me grab it. Just shuts the drawer. Okay, I suppose this is not my room. Seemed to be comfortable, but too fancy for me. Well, why wouldn't you take the fancy bed? I would definitely wash the sheets. How are you gonna wash the sheets here? I didn't even think about that. It's like nothing. It's like not livable. Okay, the water's no go on the water. Okay, I'll take a towel. There were a couple of towels in the bathroom, but a great deal of repair work would be necessary before I would attempt to take a shower. Yeah, so are we just gonna, like, not bathe while we're here? The rag was relatively clean, everything considered. Alright, let's go back. Guess we're even more upstairs then. place doesn't look very livable. Yeah. Not doing so hot in here. Let's go back out. Go in here. Doors seem to be stuck. There's no way I'm up in the attic, right? Cool spiral staircase. Oh, I can open the window. Sky has turned black. A couple of old and rusty lamps adorn the top of the tower. Oh, this is where I'm at. That's it? There was a large crack in one of the walls in the tower. And the sky has turned black again. That seems like a glitch. Because it's blue right here. But kind of adds to the ominous vibe. What's the point of this tower? Seems like a waste. I could see a key on the other side to the keyhole. Can I, like, push it out? Too big to fit. Shoot. Seems like it would have been a good idea, though. I wonder if I haven't solved any puzzle. Like, I wonder if there have been any puzzles yet? I haven't been solving them, or what? There's just no way this is not where I'm staying. A useless array of random items of every imaginable size and color occupied all the corners of the attic. Okay. Some Orville... I'm sorry, the Wright brothers. Lots of pictures. A ruined town, some sort of list. Another ruined picture of a town. A house. Picturesque outline blackened by flames. Swain's School of Design was a mass of charred ruins this morning after a 5-hour blaze. Okay. Oh. Okay. Gaiety. Get the advantage. Join our circle of satisfied patrons. See the best super pictures. Meat Packers Limited. 3 meat cuttings from Blackwood. Here's our team. Complete player rosters. It's not creepy at all. Okay. Well, I really have to pee, and I'm already at 1:04. So I'm thinking I just wrap this episode up here, and I'll pick up right where I left off here. I'll keep playing. I hope you're enjoying this creepy game so far. It's fun. It's a little motion sicky, but it's just the nature of game this old, I think. I'm interested to see where this goes, though, because I really don't understand how this can progress past, like, where we're at. Or I understand, I don't know, I'm intrigued. I'm not bored at all. Very cool vibes here. But anyways, I love you, cutie, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.